But once again, YouTube audience, welcome, because we are soon about to head inside the maps.
Yep, and the reason we're welcoming the YouTube audience again is kind of the reason why we want to remind you that there's a zero relay stream on Loco as well. There's also a Hindi stream going on Loco, so if you're interested in that, do check it out. But of course, being a little selfish over here, we would prefer that you stick with the English stream for obvious reasons. We love you guys. We want to hang out with you guys more. But what is a little bit of a concern is that Haven and Ascent are back on the menu. We've seen these maps so many times now in the VCSA. It's becoming borderline annoying. And it's also a little bit of a red flag. Yes, Orangutan are the one who have picked up Haven, but Aster Army go back to their good old Ascent. The last time Aster Army played Ascent against MLT Esports, they were able to beat them, but I'm not sure if that's the same they can accomplish against an accomplished team like Orangutan.
Again, a lot of question marks. Haven and Ascent are going to be the first two maps that are going to be played inside over here. Then let's move on towards the Agent Select, because this is where we might see a little surprises if the teams do want to whip out their surprise cards, of course, if they do want to pull out their new rosters or new Agent Selects. But so far, it does seem like what we saw last time, that's pretty much going to be it. So we have Kohli on Sova, we have KJ on Doxer, Kishi is of course going to be on that initiator role, which is Breach, and then you've got Dominic on Controller, and Vink once again on that Jet.
Well, Wink and the Jet is going to go up against Rockfuel, and this is the battle that I've been waiting to see. But then again, in Haven, no surprises really. The agent compositions don't really strike us off guard, and it just really boils down to how they can play together. Last time when we had Aster Army play up against MLT Esports on Haven, they were playing decently in the defensive side. I'm sorry, they were playing defense. They were playing really well on the attacking side, but on defense, Aster Army really struggled.
They definitely did, and this is why I said, right, they're hopefully able to overcome the communication barrier that they've had so far, because again, on defense side, we of course know things are going to be way much more critical. You need to fill out those minute details. Those micro details are quite important. Where to place those Molotovs, where to place those nano swarms, of course, the turret contact play. These little details do matter quite a lot, especially when you are going to be holding a site down. As we do move on over towards the first map of Haven, and we're going to be kicking things off with the pistol round, of course, and Aster Army on the defending side and OG on the attacking side.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's the underdogs of the group versus the big bad bullies, OG. They've already proven their mettle. Let's see if Aster Army can build up their reputation and take down the touted contenders of this entire championship. We start off with Orangutan heading for a fast push towards the mid side, but there's trades back and forth instantly. Kishi doubles up, so does Aziz, and if within the first 5 seconds we have a 3v2 on our hands.
That's a great way to start the round off. Already 2 players being taken down, but once again on OG, they've lost out 3 players. Aster Army definitely a start that we're looking out for. They've got an early man's advantage, in which this might just help them quite a lot. And so far, it seems like OG, they're rooting towards the B site. Levi is sort of leading the charge, but as soon as he gets taken down, the problems will start knocking their doors. OG, one last man left alive. Antidote will need to make something happen. But no is going to be the answer. Kishi with a 4K, stopping the entire force of OG.
Kishi, my goodness, what on earth is this performance? It's borderline illegal to do this much damage just by clicking mouse 1. He didn't even do anything really fancy or really sharp. It's just clean shots. Good trading from both him and Wink. And then he just stays towards A-Link. He gets offered these last 2 duels one by one, and he takes them smoothly. Good way to win the first round for your team single-handedly, but let's see if he can continue this momentum.
Revealing area.
Recon dart sent early. Wink is on a Phantom with the light armor, of course. He's going to be a beast unleashed. Pretty much just go and rack up those kills if possible. That's what Wink's main motive over here is. He knows the enemy team's on an eco, so it shouldn't be that tough for this man to try and rack up kills. Antidote on a Sheriff is looking to cut out some players. But so far, it doesn't seem that possible.
The shock darts would get rid of most of the KJ utility. Doxer still able to spray people down. Even Kishi's holding on the other side. But A-Link hasn't been smoked, so Kishi has a wide and clear view of all his opponents. Great backup. That paranoia got the better of Levi, which allowed Doxer to clean him up. So far, Aster Army looked really sharp, and Orangutan's attempts to take the B site, or forget B site, even mid for that matter, have been thwarted both these times.
They were able to defend the B side easily, and OG so far, they've just been pressuring on that B side over and over again. They know what MLT Esports did, huh? And that's why the B side is the go, usually. Interesting. But this time, probably, they're going to start to switch things up, because now it's going to be the gun round.
Scanning ahead.
And this is where the true test will be done. Aster Army, not with the full pies, but on the other hand, they've got the Vandals waiting for them. And every single player is just going for that Vandal on OG. Usually we do see a lot of Phantoms being played. Even inside the lock-in, Phantom has been the meta. But it's interesting to see the South Asian region going for the Vandals.
I guess it comes down to personal preference. Unless you're not gonna be spamming smokes, I think a Vandal is fine. But this stun, it's a problem. Wing gets a freebie. Yes, they've lost a player towards long, but that's fine. I think this gives Aster Army enough information to start rotating towards A when they've already stacked it up. OG, if they're going to continue their assault towards A, they will be met with heavy resistance. Do they falter? Do they turn back?
Oh, Wink falls back. But at least got the info. That's all that really matters. OG, they're being forced back. Once again, the push they try to make, at least so far, it does seem like the push was canceled out. And now they're going to start to make their way towards C-side. Dominic, he's just positioned himself inside the cubby. At least we'll find one. Wants to go for the second, but will be denied. The site entry is there too. A nice tremor to try and stop. Every single player will be slowed down, at least for now. Kishi's got 2 flashes waiting for the opponents, and he's just going to line him up. Nice spray from Kishi. Of course, the RNG helping him out as well over there. A little luck, but it doesn't matter. As long as they're able to stop the enemy force, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, even I was concerned with the way Aster Army were using their utility. First of all, the smoke that Dominic put. Big brain moves, okay? Quick thinking in the moment. He puts a smoke at the mouth of C Long, which prompted the remaining members of OG to assume, yeah, this place is clear. Otherwise, why else would they smoke behind them, right? And then Kishi has all the utility he needs, has his flashes, aftershock, everything, but still decides to just spray them down. He wakes up and chooses violence, and my goodness, he is incredibly good at violence.
Yeah, and they've also got the Rolling Thunder available, and I'm a little scared for OG here. All the sheriffs, every single player from OG, they've got the sheriffs in the hand, so an interesting stuff being shown. And as always, Wink is going to be so aggressive on the A-Lock side. Rafuel gets taken down. He tried to be a little aggressive, at least try to find the opening, a glimmer of hope for his team, but that's now being cut off by Aster Army. These guys are playing just so well. We talked about improving the communication barrier, getting over it, and it seems like Aster Army, they've been able to do it so far. And yeah, even they are looking surprised.
I know, right? I was about to say, Wink's expression kind of tells you that, hey, this is going swellingly well. So he's genuinely surprised they are able to get this done without any resistance. Kishi's on double digits already with 0 deaths. And so far, every time every time they've tried to hit the B site, they don't smoke off both C-Link and A-Link. They either don't do it at all, or sometimes just have one of those areas smoked off, which basically lets Kishi and Doxer mow them down towards mid and B. And the only form of aggression that we've seen from Aster Army so far has been towards A short, where occasionally you will have Wink aggressing. This time he's playing towards A long, but then again, you get the idea. It's only aggression towards A and nothing else.
An interesting smoke. And the Aldron's there to spot at some players.
Yeah.
They've still got no clue that AZ's is sitting inside the pocket.
The smokes basically allows Orangutan to start creeping up towards A long and gather distance without having to fight.
Yep.
And by that time, any oppers or anyone holding long angles from Aster Army will have no line of sight, which allows OG to capture ground without having to fight.
But
And
still, it was
once
pretty.
again,
I've got your trail.
It was countered pretty well with the owl drone, right?
yeah.
They got the owl drone sent out. They still got the visual information, all that was needed. And then instantly now the take's going to be starting. Rafael with the opening just to kick things off, and OG, they are able to follow things up. Of course, Aster Army's trying their best to find some trades, but Wink is there inside the pocket.
Yeah, and
30
spotted
seconds
again. Once again, Orangutan have been sent packing. They now have to make a huge run towards the seaside. Dominic's ready to intercept them. If he was a little closer to the door, he could have probably seen them cross. Oh no, did Dominic miss a smoke, or was that placed over there on purpose? Hoping to buy some space. It's a one-way, but he can't play around the one-way.
10 seconds left.
Bikes planted too. And so far, Aster Army, they're able to dominate their way inside. Now, of course, OG, they got the spike planted. Every single player is going to start to play for that post plant. But one huge problem for OG, that might just be that rolling thunder they've got available. Drone sent out. Kishi's tacked out as well. Instantly sends the aftershock in. Wink is in the front. Wink is on the lead, on the charge to find some kills. And he does. But he's only got 30 HP in his hands. Wink knows there's someone flanking him in the back inside garage, and now is having way too many people to deal with, way too many angles to check, too many demons to fight. He does find a 3K, but that might just be it.
Nice. Great presence of mind from Levi over there, tripling up in this round to get them the first round on the board. And then again, you also have to admit that the smoky place towards garage kinda ruined Dominic's plans. This defense from Aster Army, decent enough on A, right? Nothing to write home about, but then as soon as Orangutan started to hit the C site, Dominic placed a one-way smoke on top of the double radionite box, which was instantly nullified by the Astra smoke that Levi placed, basically making Dominic redundant in that spot. This gives OG so much space to plant. This time too, OG try to keep up towards garage instead of going directly towards B. They haven't explored this avenue as a unit before. Good dash in. What?
Oh. Dashes straight up on top of the default box. He gets taken down. Aster Army, they're able to get in their site control back once again. They're able to claw their way back inside the site. And now OG, they've just got completely decapitated in that round. The last man will be fan as well. And Aster Army, they're vibing. They're having a good time. Smiles on the faces because what they have planned is working out.
Yeah. It's really funny how OG just get mowed down as they try to enter from garage. It was a rather simple hit, you know. They tried to execute C by going down long and garage at the same time. Standard smoke on garage window, nothing special. One flash behind the default box. There was a paranoia thrown as well, but somehow it doesn't seem to affect them, you know. He was still able to get the kill onto Rafael as he updrafted, even though he was nearsighted. So that kind of poses a problem for OG. Up until now, they haven't really carpet bombed the site with all the utility at the same time. Their executes have little holes in them, which Aster Army can use to breathe. They don't get completely choked out. That's the whole point of an execute, right? You cover the entire site with some sort of utility, whether it's a flash, whether it's a smoke, whether it's something to reveal you, and there's basically no room left to play on. If you stay there, you're gonna die, and the only choice you have to survive is fall back and hopefully regroup with your team to retake. So
that's what Aster Army
execute. Yeah.
That's what Aster Army's realizing, that these executes are pretty basic. So again, these basic executes, Aster Army, they know we don't really need to do a lot. All we need to do is just hold our ground on the side, and that's what they're doing so far. Because Aster Army knows one thing, that we're able to win our duels, and we will keep on doing so as long as we're able to win the duels. And they are taking those duels and coming out on top, and it's working out for them.
Oh, not a fan of the way Wink just gives away the opposition to kill the turret. I would much rather have Kishi break it with a Vandal or something so you can keep the position of the op a secret. But then again, he repositions towards Gerard, so it's fine. Yeah. There's still danger around the corner.
Oh, no, fall back! The overcommitment from Kohli. Should have fell back instantly as he spotted a couple of more players in front of his eyes. But still, he knew the opponent's on an eco, so he just wanted to go for that. Could have found one, but at least is able to take down Tesseract way too much. At least so far, 2 players are softened up. Aftershock invested as well. Levi's going to be taking down 5 HP and might as well be dealt with, and that's what happens. Lifeline taken away.
Raw fuel on the backlines. He's gone unchecked, and he can get so many kills. Kishi's dead, and both Wink as well. Tesseract really can't do much over here. He was trying to go for a Hunter's Fury, but he will be overwhelmed. But at least now they know where the 2 remaining members of Aster Army are, and the weapons have been recovered by OG. This is the winnable round. They've even got the lockdown, but where will Doxer even plant it? They go in for the fights directly. Dominic wins out the opening one, and the rest of them are towards heaven. They have to jump down. Raw fuel accounted for. The smoke! What? He's not able to cover it. Dominic gets the frag. Is that enough time? It's too close. Oh. What a round by OG. It looked really devastating because at one point Aster Army were prepared to intercept them towards the A site. Aster Army had already moved down C long, were coming in from the back lines. Tesseract would not have been able to stop them, but Rawfield slips through. And that is what changes the entire narrative.
And that was an eco round too. Considering they were able to win that eco round, now OG, they're also going to have a lot of confidence. And at least they're able to find a little loophole that they might just start abusing. The flank's working out. The lurk is perfect from Rawfuel. And maybe they'll try to abuse that over in the future as well. But let's just see. Because so far, still, we know Aster Army, they've got a solid lead ahead. And OG, they still need to work harder to take that lead away from their hands. Every single player from OG is just stacked outside the A site. A hit is coming soon.
Yeah, and Aster Army aren't really protecting A. They're giving it up, and it's for good reason, right? They have all the util they need to get this A site back in case the plant goes down here. I'm pretty sure that the Hunter's Fury will be committed by Kohli as soon as they tap the spike. If not that, then Lockdown and the Rolling Thunder is available as well. But the moment I say that, Rolling Thunder is off the table. Kishi's without a head.
That was a nice shot from his side. 100 Fury is available on Aster Army. And if they really do want to go for that Hunter's Fury, of course that will be utilized. But on the other hand, Kohli as well has an Hunter's Fury, but he's not going to use it to take down the lockdown. So that's an interesting decision being made. And Rawfuel might just be detained. And that no is going to be the answer because he will be taken down before that. I don't understand. Why did Tesseract not use his ultimate to shut down the lockdown? It's an interesting way to play things out, and that's why Aster Army, now they have a huge advantage, and they're able to at least take down every single player standing in front of them, but they still end up winning the round because Levi steps up huge.
And this is the second clutch that Levi has pulled off in a post-plant position. He defended the C plant also a couple of rounds ago, and now he steps up yet again. He is so reliable in these post-plant situations. It's incredible how the young gun is fitting into this team and carving out a space for himself in this league. Tesseract already, unfortunately, ended up using his Hunter's Fury in the previous round, so he had nothing to counter the defender lockdown that was placed in this round. But then again, I love the way how the defenders use their Hunter's Fury too. You see, the lockdown doesn't cover the entire site. There's a little pocket outside of A long, a small area of A lobby left open. So the Hunter's Fury was basically used by Aster Army to kill anyone who's hiding in those pockets of spaces that isn't covered by the lockdown. Unfortunately, nobody was standing over there. Players of OG have quick feet and they are pretty good at dodging these big laser beams. They went back away to dodge the lockdown, managed to dodge the Hunter's Fury as well, and still got back in time to defend the spike from being defused.
AZ's was detained in that lockdown.
Yeah.
And that also cost him his life. But I still feel like OG should have used that Hunter's Fury to shut down the lockdown because that lockdown gave a huge advantage to Aster Army. A big one. And almost they lost the round too, so OG, they cannot afford to do so. That was a huge risk taken for them. Luckily enough, they won that, and Levi was there to save the day.
Again, he was there to save the day. He's being pretty consistent in situations like these. But now I'm starting to get concerned. He's got the lockdown. Even Levi has this Cosmic Divide available. Kishi can use the Rolling Thunder. He's got it in his back pocket since like the second or third round, and he hasn't used it since. stressful double peak
Spike
situation.
down A.
And they're still continuing to fight over here. Everything's been thrown in except the kitchen sink, and now the Rolling Thunder goes in too. This keeps OG at bay. Even from the shadows is here. Dominic gets into the heavens area to help out his teammates in time. And with the amount of util committed by Aster Army, they should be able to hold A for themselves. But they are actually starting to believe that OG is falling back. Nah, they go back over here. Will they be able to stop this plant though? Paranoia at the ready. He's ready to dive in at the back of it. Goes towards the left. No, that's a disastrous TP.
One
Are you
enemy
serious? How?
Last player
How?
standing.
I'm done, bro. This doesn't make sense. That TP was supposed to be intercepted. What happened? Wink himself is surprised. What happened? No, man. OG had all they needed to get the win in this round.
Interesting stuff. Was able to get off, or at least pull off that interesting TP and win that round.
No charges left.
And I guess the stars are aligned for both these teams. They're having those moments where they're barely able to save the day for their team, and Dominic with that 2K. Oh, that's an heroic and a miraculous play.
It has to be miraculous. It was a bad TP. I thought that he paranoia towards the right hand side and then TP'd left because he was like, yeah, nobody's going to be playing defaults. But there he was, Tesseract in the open. Should have been able to kill Dominic before his body even continued spawning in. But he was bamboozled, and now Raw Fuel is exacting revenge. Great aggression towards A-Link. Even Tesseract follows up with the back of it. And instead of planting towards the B side, OG are rushing towards A. It's empty, and it's amazing.
Oh, nice shot. Kishi's able to sniff out the man. He was over-aggressing. AZ's being shut down. Trying to be a little sneaky, man, and AZ's get sniffed out easily. OG, they get the side in the hand, but again, they haven't really got that many amount of guns in their hands. They've only got 2 Sheriffs and a Phantom to play with. So, of course, the guns advantage is in the favor so far of Aster Army, and they've also got the rounds lead, so there is going to be a bit of pressure onto OG. Good shot connected from Dominic, and now he's on the way inside the side as well. The Cosmic Divide is, of course, causing a lot of issues, and for that reason, Levi was stuck behind there, and he will be cut off instantly. Antidote towards short. Gets stunned out. Nothing much to do. Is also inside the smoke, and as soon as he peeks out, he will be greeted by a Vandal bullet to his dome.
Oh, I'm suspended in disbelief, bro. This is not real. Aster Army were the underdogs going into this game, and now they're making OG looks like a bunch of jumps. They push OG back to an eco. This was a round that Aster Army was destined to win, but I don't know, man. I still can't get over that TP from Dominic. It doesn't make sense. He should have been a dead man. His death warrant was signed, stamped, and distributed to the world. A handbill which was available to every citizen, and still Tesseract somehow to get the memo.
Oh, the aggression. Sort of paying out for Antidote. He was able to push out, but again, they've lost their Sentinel. And that might just be a little problematic. Antidote not inside the game anymore, so that means a man who could have taken care of the flank is not there. Levi wanting to lurk, being spotted. That's the controller. He's needed for a side control. Levi cannot go down inside this situation because so far, OG, they're not even close to taking a site. Coley, spots out the gun barrel and sees a man in the front. Good trading from the side of Aster. Instantly spots him out, shuts him down. There is a recon dart that gives his position away, but that's not going to matter because they have retrieved the site control back in their hands. Nice thing to start things off. And Dominic, what was that shot on the Tesseract?
Dude, this is unreal. The fact that Aster Army are able to push OG back from A is fine. That part I can believe. It was a good enough defense. Aster Army had it stacked up, and even though the first 2 players were kind of low on health, the Killjoy came in to help them out in case things went wrong. But then as soon as OG started to show presence towards the A side, Dominic takes it upon himself to start pushing down the C-Long corridor, and this is not the first time he's done so. In the second round, he was in C-Long Cubby when he managed to catch them off guard. This time he catches them off guard close to attacking spawn. And OG have relatively less map control to show for it. A Hunter's Fury committed this time to start things off by Coley, but he's not going to tag anyone, so it's fine. Tesseract and Aziz also are like 1 point away from their ultimate each, so maybe they can do something.
Oh no, I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming. OG! They're really just going for those drive peaks inside the site. They're wanting to take the control, it's understandable, but you still need to back it up with at least a little bit more utility or some trading power. And that's what OG are not doing. Once again, they're just giving those drive peeks out. Levi peeks out, and this is what Dominic's waiting for. He instantly cuts off Levi as well, and now also giving the man advantage in the favor of Aster. It's a 2-on-3 scenario from the shadows utilized as well. Dominic just teleporting on the C site. And Rawfield's made his way all the way in A, and he's just waiting for the rotation to come in. It's still doable. OG can't pull it off.
Yeah, as soon as Dominic used that from the shadows, it's basically like one big expensive recon dart to check in case OG are towards the C side. He didn't spot anyone. It's obvious that they're towards A. The stun gets them both. The flashes and paranoias both thrown at them. It's only Rawfield who can do something. Aziz has to back off. Now they're no longer in positions where they can trade each other. Man advantage still in the hands of Aster, but Aziz can probably neutralize it. And the remaining defenders aren't in from city spawn yet. They're alone now. It's up to Kohli. He's a little late to the party. He was supposed to come in a lot earlier, but OG defend this successfully. A 2v3 win, something that OG needed desperately to claw their way back in the game.
Oh boy. At least they have ended the first half on a good note, huh? At least they got the last round back in their hands. But this is where OG, they're really just giving out those drive peaks, and that's why they're losing out on those individual duels. Look at over here, Dominic was able to lure one man in, instantly was able to shut down as well. They tried to take the B control early off, and even there they lost one man. So they're losing these man advantages, they're losing these duels, and that needs to be stopped. They need to find a way to at least trade things out, even if one man goes down the seconds there to at least get the kill instantly back in their hands. But so far, the first half, it's going on the way of Aster Army. We don't exactly know how the second half is going to be looking like because we've seen things being flipped over in a second.
Yeah, let's see whether OG can mount this comeback or will Aster Army pull off a massive upset. All of this after a short break.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the wings, I get it in.
The all-new i20 Born Magnetic.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the wings, I get it in.
Hello, ladies and
Welcome
gentlemen.
back, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, to the second half, of course, and we are going to be moving in over here. As we all know, of course, the second half is going to mean quite a lot, and it's going to be quite a crucial one for OG, because in the first half, they haven't really had a good start.
Yeah, it wasn't that great of a start, and OG have nobody to blame for it except themselves. It was quite simple, the strats coming out from them in the attacking side, but let's see whether they can complicate things up on defense. Early aggression from Aster Army towards A shot. They've got Wink into a deep position, but they've left him there. And I don't think Aster Army have any intention of even committing towards the A site. The spike is still all the way back towards attacking spawn. Smokes in and drone towards Garage as they now try to make their presence known in this area. At the same time, Wink, he's trying to dodge this Trailblazer, but that's okay. Even if he gets bit, nobody's gonna kill him, so he can continue surviving in this area. So at this point, OG don't have any actionable info. Aster Army have shown presence both towards A shot as well as Garage, so there's no way for OG to ascertain where's the real hit coming, except for now that they've spotted the spike. Kohli gets the kill onto Aziz, reveals the spike position, and with that, OG are infiltrating the A site. They're stacking it up. The recon does reveal the fact that rotations have arrived, so if Aster Army want to fall back, they have the opportunity of doing so. But they need to be very quick about it, because OG will find out if this is the fake or not.
30 seconds left.
Somehow, Wink will have to make enough noise to convince OG that Astra is still present over here, and luckily, he's even got Kishi to back him up. Frenzy versus Ghost. In this situation, you can't really account for stuff, but the stun, it's amazing. Wink at least gets this kill, and now somehow Astra going back to win. Hey, Rawfuel amazing with the defense. That That's how you win the pistol. OG keep themselves calm, keep themselves composed. Aster Army seemed a little indecisive over here because they were deciding whether to go back towards C or continue A. And it seems like the decision they made in the last second was a little too Hail Mary.
Interesting stuff. And a start, of course, OG needed. They've got it in their hands. Now all they need to do is just carry that momentum forward. This might just be the momentum breaker OG were really looking out for. And we all know Aster Army is now going to be forced on an eco. And inside an eco round, usually all you need to do is try and get as many bodies as possible. Just put a dent on the opponent's economy. Find that crack in the wall. And OG, they are taking the guns. At least to the faces, or at least they're trying. They're playing quite aggressive. They're playing forward the contact play. But so far, they haven't gotten any sort of info. Tesseract gets scanned up, and he will back out instantly, but he's also got a dink onto his head. He cannot afford to take any more damage.
Well, with him backing off, OG have now shown presence towards A lobby and B. Rockers prepared, intercepts Wink, turns around for a stylish spray down, and even Tesseract's here to back him up. There's the spike, dropped inside the nebula. And now it's difficult to recover. A counter smoke will be put up simply so that Aster Army can retrieve it, but Antidote's playing inside this smoke now, and there's barely anything that Dominic can do.
Ooh. Was able to find the burst onto Antidote's face, but still, nobody's found. They were able to take down at least one man, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, and it was in the name of Rawfuel, and that's all they got. Still, again, that means that OG is going to be playing on a bonus round in the upcoming round, so that should give the players of Aster Army the edge they really needed inside the game. And Rawfuel's going to be just playing on his knife, so one thing's for sure, in the upcoming round, Rawfuel's going to straight up invest for an operator.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing that they're holding back. OG, slight investments to go along with 3 of the weapons. If they can at least kill a couple of Aster Army members in deep territory and steal their guns away, it would be perfect. But so far, OG, despite being on an inferior buy, haven't really shown signs of aggression. I would have expected them to play a little more aggressively. The only person who's playing slightly forward is Levi, and that too at the edge of C-Long. This Nanoswarm is problematic. It will boil Tesseract out, and Doxa gets the better of him. No trades possible at all.
That was really good Nanoswarm, and good read too. Tesseract being just sniffed out of that corner. Nanoswarm was there to just deal that damage, and instantly the gun will be retrieved in the hands of Rawfuel. Rawfuel did use his ultimate, and now has a Marshall to play with.
But Aster are about to get
highly
trapped.
doubt. Yeah, I highly doubt how much value he's going to be able to pull out with that weaponry that he's got in his hands. And Aster Army, as you said, yeah, they're definitely going to get trapped, but still, this lurk must be sniffed out soon enough. As Aster Army do make their way in the site, and they're easily able to mop every single player up, and I doubted his Marshall, but Rawfuel's able to deal so much damage. The amount of value this man found with the Marshall is incredible. And now OG, they've got 2 players stacked in the back, and Aster Army, it seems like so far they've got no clue.
They know that Rawfuel's over here, but they don't know where's Levi. Levi's been on this flank since minute 0. And can he catch him before he goes towards the defensive spawn? Yes, he does. It's all down to Wink now, and he's barely breathing. He's got 1 foot in the grave already. A bullet should do the job, and Levi's up for the task.
That was a monstrous play from Rawfuel. He made that Marshall work so well in those close range scenarios. Didn't even expect it to work that well for him, but he was able to just stack him up on top of each other. Shut down the first man on short, then instantly shut down 2 players on the site. This man single-handedly just stopped the entire push that was coming on his way. Look at this, disgusting shots.
Yeah, I mean, Rawfuel kind of missed a lot of opportunities with the Bladestorm before, but with the Marshall, he just sang the songs of death. He sang so well, he might as well woo the Grim Reaper. But that being said, Aster Army were really trapped over there. Levi was on the flank very early in the round, and that basically gave OG time to reposition and stack the A side. Aster Army had no chance. The fact that it boiled down to a 1v1 itself is a big deal. now in this fast C hit. Aster Army hold nothing back. They do not pop the brakes. Rawfuel gets one kill through the smoke, but Antidote goes unchecked over here. He can kill the spike carrier and more. The spray down is so good. Aster Army halted in their tracks, and Doxor with it all to do.
Oh, man. I mean, Aster Army are doing exactly what OG did. They're being too predictable. And once again, we're not seeing any type of proper executes. They're just going for some basic sight hits. And they're relying on those duels heavily. There is some basic utilities, those visual denials, but nothing more than that. They were able to sneak all the way inside the C side, but once again, the angles aren't being checked, and this is where that I would call that a rookie mistake, but because that's one of the most common angles you're supposed to take a look at, and it was left unchecked.
Yeah,
and this is where a tactical timeout will be pulled out.
Yeah, that's partially gone unchecked because the first player, Wink, he just updrafted towards the C side, got a kill towards the back, and at that point, I don't know why Antidote did not shoot. I guess he was probably flashed or something, so he didn't make any noise. And then Wink went in towards the smoke where he was later dealt by Rawfuel. So at this point, the information that Aster Army have is that backside guy's dead. The remaining members are in CT, or at least trying to peek out of the CT smoke, so the rest of the site's clear. And Antidote, by some negligence or maybe some stroke of luck, went and checked, which allows him to then mow them down towards logs. Or maybe he came in very late, you know, he came in after Rawfuel had peeked out. I mean, it all happened so fast that even I could not see it. So I can't really blame Aster Army for not being able to see it coming, you know?
Still though, I mean, you can't rely on the first man to check it out when he straight up dashed inside the smoke. He dashed in the smoke, he did his job to pretty much just get the entry on the site. It's your job as the follow-up players to check every single corner and make it in safely and help your team to make it in safely as well. And once again, the similar strategy utilized from Aster Army, but this time it's done a little bit more cleanly. It works out well from them. And they've also got a couple of players now who are going to be on the flank. For example, Rawfuel with his operator is just waiting for someone to walk in his crosshairs. They've also got one player waiting. Aster Army, this execution was looking pretty good. Again, they're just not bringing anything mixture, or they're not really bringing in fancy plays on the board. They're just doing something basic, and that's working out. And as long as it works out, you don't need to fix it.
Yeah, why fix something that's not broken? Oh, Rawfuel, this timing. Doxor just slips past him. I mean, I guess Doxor probably won't be checking attacking spawn. Oh, never mind, he does it. And they're just sitting back to back with each other. Hello there.
What?
Is this a bet?
It's so comical to see stuff like this. I mean, they went past each other like 2 times.
I'd go for a knife there. I'd go for a knife.
Yeah. Luckily, you know, there's a little bit of manners in that guy. He doesn't want to disrespect his fellow players. But yeah, I get you, Doxor. He's not the kind of man
is it really
who will go
about
for
like
those stylish
manners,
plays,
or
and he will never BM you. He's a very wholesome guy that way.
I don't think a knife is a BM. It's just something that is quite rare to happen. For example, it's just like one of those rare moments, right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with knifing someone. There's nothing wrong. It just adds a little bit of more fun element.
But you know what's fun? I mean, this time Kohli has unfortunate fate that he got shot down by Rawfuel. But you see, in the previous round, Kohli was able to get a blind kill with the Hunter's Fury. I don't think anyone got tagged in his recon dart, so the kill he got in the previous round was just based on intuition. And then the Hunter's Fury is used to clear out the common areas, follow up by Aster Army into the site and garage. Gives them the round. This time though, OG. The Seekers have been committed by them, so any sneaky beaky plays by Aster Army will be detected. Man, they don't go for something sneaky, they go for it all. It's a bold push towards the A site, and smokes are late! Tesseract could have had the opportunity to kill him, but he just narrowly misses it.
Yeah, Dominic spotted out as well, so at least OG knows that there's at least one man on the flank, and Dominic is taking his time with the flank too. What a shot! Rawfuel with the double up draft from the box will shut down one man inside the site, and OG, they make an easy cleanup on the A site, just making it look so easy. Dominic whiffs his first bullet, and Aziz will capitalize.
Yeah, Dominic went for a big flank in this one. They realized that Garage is like the first place that OG abandoned whenever the A side is under threat. And they've discovered this over the course of the last 2 rounds when the Garage area was relatively undefended if the KJ Util isn't present over there. So they used the information from previous round and get Dominic to sneak in from that area. The problem is Dominic came in so slowly that by the time he was there, the rest of his teammates were already buried 6 feet under.
Here.
And I'm going to say one thing. None of us expected this matchup to be this close.
I know, right?
Aster Army, they're doing so well. I mean, yeah, they did lose out on the lead, but still, they're trying their best. We aren't really seeing any sort of fancy stuff, but hey, as they say, what's not broken, there's no need to fix it. And they are still trying to go for that garage control.
Yeah, at least the positive thing that you can take out of this for Aster Army is that they've managed to ball out all the KJ Util, right? So now when they try to re-aggress towards Garage, they only need to deal with Rafuel, and he can be pushed back with the flashes. Kishi still has both of them available. But of course, they won't go for this yet. The drone discovers Tesseract, but Tesseract still finds the kill. Amazing.
Wait, that's huge! He sent a flash, a blinding light to find out any sort of presence outside B, and no one was spotted because they were inside the smoke, and Aster Army, they're at least able to make their presence known on the B side because of that. Because OG did not expect this B hit coming. That's huge! Aster Army, they're barely able to sneak inside the B, but they've already lost out on that man number. It's a 2-on-4. OG, they're heavily stacked up with the odds. And they will be mowing down the players of Aster Army as they start making their way on the A site. And AZ is just waiting for them on the A link.
Yeah, now you can start to feel the comms in Aster Army start to fall into disarray. They were all happy and smiling at the start of this game, but now you can see question marks all over the place. When they found out where Rafuel is, they decided to avoid Garage. At the same time, they have one of their players trying to make contact towards the extremities of the map, hoping to draw out rotations. But because of that blinding light, I mean, I don't know what the conclusion was for Orangutan when that blinding light was thrown out of B, but as soon as Aster Army made their presence known towards the B side, Tesseract uses his Hunter's Fury to make sure they can't plant, which thereby forces Aster Army to go A-link, where Aziz is already waiting for them. This time it's another fast B hit. Smokes in, Antidote ignores it, eats the shock dot, but continues to fight. Wing deals with this one. Eco weapons can be deadly at this range, especially when Antidote was already low on HP.
That's beautifully done. They execute the B-side because they know they've got the close range weapon, and they easily do get the B-side control as well because they've been able to read that on B-side. The defense isn't that strong. They've got the kill chart trying to hold things off, and instantly as Antidote was found, the B-side control was easily taken in their hands. Personally, if you ask me, the Hunter's Fury utilization, was that worth it? Yeah, they did get that round, but now there's a high chance that Doxer's lockdown might be utilized in the upcoming rounds because they know Tesseract doesn't have a Hunter's Fury available, and that should give, or at least potentially give, a free round in the hands of Aster Army if used properly.
Yeah, I love the gamble move by Aster Army to just use the rolling thunder towards C-Link and gather some information. Not gather information, but rather gather map control towards that region. At least that alleviates the pressure of them defending the C side. But Aziz is more than comfortable giving away this area. You know, he falls all the way back to the C side. Lets the rest of his teammates come in from B-Link and mid respectively. As soon as they're in the side, that's when Aziz is like, alright, I can start moving. And Aster Army too were kind of desperate over there because if they stayed in the site, they would have been surrounded and killed. So they needed to push somewhere to at least have an exit.
Personally, not a huge fan of that Rolling Thunder considering it was broken buys from them.
Yeah, that's
they shouldn't have invested that and just maybe save it up for the buy rounds where they could have pretty much just confirmed got that round in the hands of OG. This time they're ready for the A hit. They read this perfectly. And Rafuel, he's trying to do something, but he's way too close with the operator and might just be surprised. Pulls out the shorty, isn't able to do much. At least is able to get some HP off his hands. He's able to scrape some HP off of him. But in the back are 2 OG players just waiting for him.
Yeah, and OG just do not have any mercy. They don't want to stop at all. They mounted this amazing comeback, and as soon as they figured out what the default of Aster Army looks like, that is towards a lobby, they heavy commit towards there. Rafuel, Aziz, both of them pushing in from long and short respectively. They continued to obliterate the remaining members of Aster Army. Even Antidote came in from mid and climbed up mid window to fight them towards lobby. Aster Army had nowhere else to go. They were being pushed back into spawn, and OG now finally show us why they are the big bad bosses of this group. The underdogs had their chance. They got the opportunity to get that 8-4 lead, but since then, since the first half has concluded, Aster Army have only conceded. I'm sorry. Aster Army have only won a single round in the second half. Every other round has belonged to OG.
They go from terror and fear to find that sweet relief. And OG on the second half have definitely mounted a huge comeback against Aster. Things have been working out for them. They're able to get those reads pretty nicely. And AZ's, what are those shots? Oh, this man is a beast awoken inside the second half. And so far, he seems just unstoppable. Those shots were so crisp and clean. He was able to glow their heads like it's nothing, but this time it's going to be Kishi with a huge clutch, with a 4K to stop the entire OG. Oh, 2 demons on the other side.
Yeah, both the demons just exchanging blow for blow, frag for frag. It was a great opening by Aziz, but after Aziz laid waste to most of their forces, I thought Aster Army was dead. And I'm pretty sure that the remaining members of OG also thought the same thing. They're like, yeah, it's just one guy, let's rush him down, let's finish the job, seal the deal, and go to map number 2. But Kishi keeps kicking, stays alive, and he has been an absolute demon in this match so far. He continues to show us why he is one of the best players in this lobby. An import completely worth his price.
That's it out. This time is holding the garage. Beep control is completely given away. They've got the alarm bot and the nano swarms available on the B side if there is a B hit. But so far, even Aster Army, they don't exactly know which hit to execute. They're just waiting for any sort of lurks or extensions from the side of OG, but that doesn't seem like the case. OG, they're playing quite disciplined. AZs, you better not peek out. Wink is just waiting for you. And B hit is it. They are going to be pushing it to the B side. They do get the control in the hand too. AZ's this time being sniffed out pretty perfectly. Tesseract wants to get some couple of kills in his hands, but he's getting a little too aggressive. OG, their over-aggression is being punished over and over again, and it's not working out in their hands this time. Wink with a 3K to try and stop the entire force, and he does it.
Lovely performance from Wink. Not just the fact that he's able to get a quad kill, but also how he handles the aggression towards A-Link is super impressive. You see, Aster Army only put one smoke towards the C-Link. They left A-Link empty. They partially wanted to do this because they wanted OG to think that Aster Army will not plant on A, but instead will continue hitting the... They wanted OG to think that Aster Army won't plant on B, but instead will go towards A via the link area. That's why they put no smoke over there. And Aziz, because he was so adamant on trying to stop all of this, he decided to give in to the fight and lost to Wink. Wink used his cloudburst to hold OG at bay. I mean, if they just wanted to smoke it, they could have used the proper smoke, you know, over there. They could have used the Astra or Roman smoke or something like that, but no. They leave it empty. They let OG think that it is a A hit instead of a B one, and then they just lure them into the trap. Because
11
that
to 12.
area was... Yeah, it is 11 to 12, and because that area was left empty, the other areas of the map, like C-Link, were also expanded upon quickly by Orangutan. They thought that they could probably intercept Aster Army before they start hitting A-Link and start putting pressure towards the A site. So they moved in from C-Link, get towards the back of B, and surprise, 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 Aster Army has no intentions of going A. They do want to commit towards the B side indeed.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, after the tactical timeout. Aster Army, they've been able to at least get 2 back-to-back rounds back in their hands and also burn the torches in their favor. Nice Hunter's Fury to know where raw fuel is. The flash as well to follow it up, and instantly they're also going to invest a Rolling Thunder. Aster Army, things are looking way too good for them, but raw fuel in the close is just making things tough Aster Army, they do get the side control back in their hands, but so far it's a 3-on-3 scenario. One player overextends and he will be cut off instantly, but Aziz, he wakes up once again. This man is just unstoppable. And with a 4K, he single-handedly just decimates the entire opponent.
Yikes, dude, that was stylish. I mean, Aziz wasn't even looking in the right direction for that last frag. He just snapped onto his opponent's head. Tilts his mouse 90 degrees and takes his opponent's head off. Aziz is an absolute demon. He had that amazing 3K on the A side and now a 4K on C as well. It really proves to you that if Aziz is able to get to the site on time before the attackers have a chance to plant, then he will be able to stop them in their tracks. That's your win condition, you know. Aziz is proving himself to be such a strong anchor. And he is a demon indeed, dude. If he gets to the side before you move in and plant, you can basically consider this round done and dusted.
And I mean, Aziz, he's always there with those clutches, right? But so far, I'm not gonna lie, Aster Army has impressed me. Every single player is on their individual form. They're doing really good and they're looking good as ever before. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be pushing to a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the wins, I get it in.
The all-new i20, born magnetic.
Making dreams come true and memories happier.
I know my destiny.
our YouTube audience. Welcome back once again to the map of Ascent as we do move on over to the Asian composition in front of us. So just to let you guys know, one more thing is that we haven't seen OG play on Ascent so far. On the other hand, Aster Army has played on Ascent and they've lost their Ascent game, Crips. So again, for OG, there were quite a lot of VODs to study, but for Aster Army, there wasn't any VOD available.
Yeah, when you come to that, Aster Army, if you go to Ascent, you can pick up what they've done in the past. So, on paper, it's possible for OG to really counter them. But will they be able to do it? I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Exactly, and we all know Ascent, of course, as you mentioned, it's really tough to predict which team will be taking the Ascent pick home. And just to let you guys know, Ascent is the pick of Aster Army, considering they were able to do so good on the OG pick, which was Haven. There's a high chance that Aster Army should be able to win on the map of Ascent. So let's see what happens. It is their pick. They are seeming quite confident on this map. Hopefully the odds are going to be stacked with them, because I want to see, as I mentioned even yesterday as well, I want to see a competitive game. I want to see all three maps. I want to see an intense environment. So far, of course, in the previous game, we did see that, but not as intense as we wanted.
Let's see if the intensity gets propped up in this game, or whether it gets dropped down to the floor with one of these teams running away with the map in a very dominant fashion. And just before we start, to refresh our memories, you know that whole chamber conversation we were having? Yeah, it was picked up by Flabin in Reckoning Esports game against Lethal.
There we go.
Goya also picked up a Phoenix in that very same game on Pearl, so that also is a very cool thing. So it's almost Reckoning Esports them trying out the new composition. So this time, Aster Army go for a fast push towards the middle market area. Rocky has his eyes open once again, recovers from the flash, and he kills he kills Wink.
How do you not check that angle? Okay, hold on. Excuse me that, but definitely that's an angle where what you're supposed to check. So that's a huge mistake from Wink. Aster Army, they're really just losing out on those angles. Even in the previous game, they did not check the logs angle, and this time, crucial angles just being left like that. And OG, of course, the side control is given away from their side, but those shots are so disgusting. They're just going to glow up some heads, but Aster Army, they bounce back. Wow. They make it a 2-on-2. Of course, the players are softened up, but still, even on OG, Aziz is quite damaged. He's quite taken down. Look at Dominic. He's looking to take the fight against him. Antidote is right in the front. Classic might just be supreme in the close ranges, but I'm being proven wrong. Antidote shuts him down instantly. Kishi, once again, the last man left alive to clutch things out, but this time he will be denied because OG has their clutch mitre up.
It's a KO versus KO, a killing machine versus another killing machine, and it's OG who come out on top. It was rough, it was scrappy, but hey, this is what Ascent is like. And if it wasn't for this freebie that Rafael was able to acquire, this would have been a very different trend. Imagine what would have happened if Vink manages to go all the way to its CT spawn and comes in from the backlines, you know, starts to backstab them from heaven. This would have been a nightmare for OG if something like that came true. But they somehow stabilize themselves. They get this pistol in the bag. And Aster Army, they've gone for a risky purchase over here. Dominic investing everything in, gets a Bulldog. Stingers and Spectres across the board, so it's a force buy by Aster Army. If they lose this gamble force, then they will have to eke for 2 rounds, which gives OG a massive lead.
Turrets out. Drone out as well to spot out the player. Tesseract's trapped. Nowhere to go. But a smoke was utilized to make this man, or at least help this man get back inside the site. Wink, as always, he's going to push up once again. Help his team to get in the site, and they have to force by an interesting outing, an interesting selection from their side coming out. The Stingers are really making it work for them, and OG, at least so far, they have dropped quite a lot of bodies, and they've also lost out on those crucial guns. And Aster Army, they've got the man advantage, and also they've got the site control in the hand. The time's ticking away, so is the Spike, and OG, they'll need to start hurrying up quickly.
Losing momentum as he's getting pictured. Somehow was able to get the kill onto Wink as well, but surely this is too much for him. Aster Army with a great recovery, nullifying the momentum that OG gathered in the previous round. And it's so incredible. Like, the moment they figured out that Rofuel has to come in and rescue Tesseract from that corner in B main, Aster Army recognized that because Rofuel has been spotted, mid is clear. This is what prompts Wing to dash in super quick and just get behind them. By the time they rescue Tesseract out of that precarious position, Aster Army have already taken market and the B side is being crunched. OG lose their footing.
Interesting turret. Such an aggressive turret from OG. Just placing it right on the mouth of B main. If there's any presence, it'll be known instantly.
Right here. Right here.
Again, the setup's looking quite incredible. I just want to see how they're going to be playing it off of that. Of course, the guns aren't perfectly there on the side of OG. They've only got some pistols in the hands to try and make it work. AZ Shorty might just strike. He's sitting right on the face too. And he's just waiting to welcome someone with a shorty, and now the position's given away. Now they know there's a shorty in the close range. Instantly the shock dart was invested to make Aziz fall back, but Aziz is just holding that close corner.
Yeah, I mean, you know there's a shorty. You have the info, but do you still want to gamble and push it? I don't think anybody's brave enough to do that. Aster Army go to the only place
30 seconds
which
left.
they have openings towards, and that's mid. There's no KJ util present towards this area this time. The door's been closed, so if they want to hit B, they will have to break it. And now the presence known. She clears out the common areas. Rofuel's a little late to the party, so this seems like a good round for Aster Army.
10 seconds left.
Oh. Aster Army, they're just collecting these eco frags. And Levi is quite
One
close on
enemy
mid, so he
remaining.
will be taken down as well. Yeah, the last man up and alive. Tough luck. Levi with the classic. He found one, but again, it's not that hurtful for Aster Army. They got the entire round in their hands with the casualty of one man, and again, Wink is having huge smiles on his face. As I said, of course, they're looking quite confident. So at least things are looking good. And that's all that's needed. Aster Army, that force spy was definitely something that caught the entire OG squad off guard.
Get out of my way.
But now Rawfield's invested in an op, and he's got no armor to back it up. That's a hefty amount of investment. Huge investment coming in. He's played a gamble here. Dash activated as well. Rawfield knows if he catches any sort of hurt, he will be taken down instantly, but he's got the big bad gun. And all he needs to do is connect one precise shot on the enemy, and that means the enemy will be shut down, and that's what he exactly does. Rawfield, good opening. 3-on-2 situation. Aster Army seems like now they're starting to get deactivated. Paranoia in the hands of Dominic. And the Blade Storm's available too. Vink is there. And now he's going to start to crawl inside the site. Look at the amount of map control Aster Army's got. OG, they've got no clue that the entire team's in the back. And Wink has got the spike in his hands too. We will go for the plant. This Blade Storm's going to be such a problem for OG. They've got one man on the flank, which is of course Rawfuel. He's trying to make his way from A main. And both these players of Aster Army, they're posted up on Haven. But so far, it does seem like OG are able to read into it. Dominic catches a bullet onto his dome. He's taken down a little. He's softened up, that's for sure. And he will unfortunately be caught off guard too. But Antidote, he jumps and shoots at the same time. And that's why the inaccuracy hits him. And this is where OG, now the chances of them winning this round are starting to fade away.
Rofuel with the op. At least he's in a position to stop this from blowing up, but yeah, there's no way he can get the round. Will he at least get to save the op?
Yeah, he will.
I guess so. I mean, I don't know whose luck is better or worse. I mean, Antidote had the timing on Dominic. Dominic was busy putting one smoke over there, so Antidote, in a perfect world, should have been able to kill him. But then he jumps, and somehow Dominic is able to shoot him back. Like, how do you even propose a ridiculous situation like this will come true?
Oh, man. All I can say is that patience were important from Antidote there. He wanted to make his presence inside Haven. That's why he jumped on top of that box, but that was the wrong timing. Oh, Hazy's. This man is just there to welcome, and he's gonna start lining them bodies. He's making it look like a graveyard. The A entrance, too many bodies on the floor. And now Aster Army, they're gonna start to reply back.
Track with yacht. Good enough to stop them, but my goodness, it looked like a roller coaster, didn't it? It just seemed like every person in the lobby was just fighting towards the A side. Some really crispy shots from OG members, both from Aziz and Levi at the beginning, to halt this entire push in its tracks. And then as they attempt to revive Kishi, the remaining members of OG try to pick them from heaven, and the superior weapons just get mowed down easily. Woo! That round was over so quickly. Within a matter of seconds, everybody's just dead or dying, fighting towards the mouth of A. And that's what makes Ascent so beautiful. Sometimes there's no logic in fights like these. It's only magic. And some really, really crispy, you know, clip material.
Reveal out. Not able to scan anyone instantly. They're going to make their way inside the site. Cloudburst available to make the presence known. At least for now, the control's taken. They really do want to get towards the switch and maybe shut down the market door as well. But Aster Army, they're being challenged to a straight-on head collision, and in which Aster Army will out-aim every single OG member. No reply found from OG. They're losing these fights. They're losing these duels. And that's why Aster Army, they're able to come out on top. Even previously, in the previous map, Aster Army, they looked really supreme on the attacking side.
I don't understand one thing, man. Aster Army are not playing according to the book. They place the lockdown, fine. That's a good way to enter the B site. But then they don't put any smokes. What's up with that? Like, any other day you make mistakes like those, you're gonna get mowed down. But it's almost like they want OG to come and fight them, you know? They want to pick up these aim duels, these brawls, these ugly, messy, brutal brawls where it's just 4 or 5 people from either side fighting each other at the same time. It's chaos and pandemonium, lead flying all over the place. And somehow in situations like those, even though it's scrappy, Aster Army come out on top.
Speaking about the scrappy rounds, oh boy, I told you this. Even in the previous map, it did feel like, at least on the defending side, there were quite a lot of those moments where OG were losing out on those initial duels, on those individual duels, and they really need to start capitalizing on that. As soon as they start getting their hands or start clawing their way on those individual duels, there's a high chance they should be able to win this too, because, again, the executes from the side of Aster, of course, they're trying to bring a little mixture on the A and B hit at the same time, but it's something that should be able to be countered if you do win your duels.
Crucial moments like those, you don't really have too much control over what's going on. It just comes down to in the moment. And Aster seemed to be good at it. Rafi will chop. Can Tesseract and Aziz be sharp enough with the Deagles in their hands? I mean, sorry, the Sheriffs. Smoke's put down, so they won't be able to fight. But Tesseract seems to be keen on peeking through it.
Yeah.
And even though Aster Army...
Oh, it works out.
That's what happens.
It works out. Even though the odds were stacked against him, he had no clue how many players are waiting for him on the mid. But still, he comes out on top in that duel. Tesseract. Yeah. Interestingly played. And the gamble worked out.
30 seconds left.
From the shadows, and now they try to hit the A side, but still, the spike is all the way towards A main and hasn't made its way inside. So even though there's plenty of control, it won't be able to reach the spike. There's only 20 seconds left. Aster Army are just tearing these defenses. Levi scrambling back into cover. The shotty scurries him out, and Antidote is left on the line. And
10 seconds left.
Much in the situation.
Spike planted.
Well, the silver lining is he's gonna get the lockdown at the end of this round regardless. I mean, even if he gets a kill or if he dies, he will have it.
Oh, boy. Antidote. OG, they thought they could make some difference happen with those signature sheriffs, but this time it didn't work out. Yeah, they were able to get a couple of bodies, but still, Aster Army, they clawed their way back inside the round. It was a nice opening. And the trades as well are instantly just on the point from Aster all the time, and I'm just loving it, right? Even though Aster Army, we know the executes aren't something that's quite fancy, but the trade game from their side is there.
You also have to account for all the random hero plays that OG is going for, like how Tesseract peeked out of the smoke. Any other day he peeks out of the smoke, he's gonna die, but somehow he makes it work this time.
Here.
These are the kind of plays where you should be warned before they are made, you know? You will see these random ads before you switch on your TV, and before the ads it will say the stunts were performed in supervised environments by extreme professionals, so don't imitate them at home. Yeah, that's the same kind of warning that applies to a play that Tesseract was made, that Tesseract was making. Under normal circumstances, if it's players like you and me, if we try to peek out of the smoke and try to get a shot like that, we're gonna get killed. But when it's Tesseract,
maybe not me.
Oh, okay, okay, you're confident enough. Cool, cool.
Yeah, confident in my aim.
Cool, bro. Good for you. Let's see how much confidence do OG have in their setup over here. This seems like a good enough setup, but the shock dart destroys nearly all the nano swarms, and whichever ones are still activated, Aster just tried to barrel their way through it. Hustling through the nano swarms unbothered, but Antidote is defending really well. A moment of hesitation as he looks away, and Doctor plants a bullet in his head in that very millisecond. Rafiel can't get there in time, smoke's in his way. He's peering towards being in, but there's nobody who will offer him a duel.
But again, the problem is Antidote is the only one who was trying to fight back on the site. Rest everyone else just died. So that solo man wasn't able to stop the entire push, and once again, Aster Army, they find themselves in the advantageous stage. And they should be able to pretty much just successfully defend this entire post-plant scenario. I mean, Levi's got the Cosmic Divide available, but I highly doubt he's going to utilize that. They're just trying to find some exit frags, and this is where Aster Army pretty much just knows. And as I said, Aster Army, they're just able to win those duels, and somehow OG, they're always losing out on that. And Aster Army, they also get the last man too. No operator being saved this time. OG, they're really paying a huge price.
This is starting to be an unprecedented lead for Aster Army. I mean, yes, there's no reason to get concerned yet because OG were able to mount a comeback in the previous game as well. But by what we saw in Haven, both these teams are stronger on defense as compared to attack. If you use the same logic over here on Ascent, then Aster Army have already got this game in the bag. And OG really need to come up with something. They've got the lockdown plus Cosmic Divide combination. On paper, the best ultimates for a retake on Ascent. The question is, will they live to actually utilize them towards the end of the round?
Yeah. And unfortunately for Kishi, he doesn't have a null command. But it's okay. He did use it a while ago. Flash invested too to find an entry, but that's a little friendly fash. It's completely fine though. Still, as long as it didn't cost him their life, that's just good enough. Hunter's Fury was utilized from Tesseract. That means one thing is completely invested inside the game now, and Doxer knows that there's no Hunter's Fury available to counter his lockdown. But unfortunately, he needs 3 more power-ups to get his ultimate, 3 more orbs, and that's what he's starting to collect.
By Tesseract. Let's see if he can survive that one, but Rafiel gets one through the smoke. Spray down Ultimate quite a lot, and now this one 4 round. Oh, she hold their ground.
Some
That's
good combination of
gets a little too desperate, you know. They try to just burrow through that narrow chokehold. Smoke's not cleared yet. Not too much information gathered by the recon dots.
One enemy remaining.
And not even that. I mean, they wanted to go towards the tree area, and because of that friendly flash, that was denied too. The smoke was there as well. That's why the tree area wasn't being taken from their side. And then probably Aster Army thought that, okay, let's just try to play some mind games and let's go back on the B side. They're not going to expect this to be here, right? There's no way. But then there's two players of OGs just waiting, and with a perfect combination of gravity well, they're able to stop the entire push. And look at Levi, he might just have the timing. But the door's being shut down on the back, and that means OG, and once again, they will be forced back on a retake. Lockdown's invested as well. But Coley this time, does he have the Hunter's Fury? No, it's going to be the answer. The trades are there on the board. But Aster Army, all the time, they're peeking out with a huge force. And Wink,
Yikes.
oh boy. I mean, the round was so scrappy in the post plant. But Aster Army, I'm telling you, this team with the trades this time is just so good.
I know, right? It's almost like a kill switch that got activated the moment that lockdown was placed. The Hunter's Fury was also committed early on by Tesseract, hoping that he would be able to attack them before they even get into the A main region. But as soon as that lockdown was planted, entirety of Aster Army just went in for the fight. They broke down the doors, punched it down, went to its tree. Even Wink climbed up heaven and tried to crunch them from window. It's incredible how well Aster Army are good at fighting in these scrappy kind of situations. Whenever it comes down to a 4v4, 5v5 brawl, Aster will come out on top historically and in all sorts of stats, in all sorts of scenarios. Unless it's Rafiel who can make a difference in the job.
Oh, Rafiel catches that bullet. But it's fine, he's able to stay alive. Oh, that spam connects so well too. And as I said, yards were starting to feed, but Antidote is waiting right on the edge, and he's also being detained, and he will be taken care of. 3-on-2 scenario. Levi's got the Cosmic Divide available, and I'm pretty sure it will be used for the retake. But how is the wall going to be used? That's what I want to find out. And this is quite an interesting plan as well. Look at the plant. Oh, they're planning right on the edge of the stairs. That means they know that Aster Army is pretty much going to be on that side, and OG will start funnel in from the B main side. The call is given away. Levi's position's compromised towards the lane. They're trying to choke him in there, and he will be.
No charge.
You can see what he tried to do with the Astra Stars over there. He just took them both back in a second, hoping that they would be momentary smokes that could fake his entry towards lane 1. But Aster Army don't fall for these tricks. Antidote tried to be the hero over there. He had to go ahead and defend his teammates who were busy fighting, and he got detained in the process. Oh my god. And what's up with Doxa getting kills through the smoke, man? Rafiel wasn't even close. He was falling back towards the defender's spawn entrance on B. And he gets shot down by Doxa without even a line of sight. Oh, this time it's another fast one. Null command committed by Kishi, and they're trying to barrage their way inside. This fragment stops them in their tracks, and that's good. This will buy OG some time to rotate, but the rotations aren't here yet. I think they're calling their bluff. They're calling the fake for Aster Army.
But is it really a fake, though? There's 3 players stacked up towards the catwalk. Coley is the one leading the charge. Look at Levi. He's still got the Cosmic Divide available. He hasn't invested it yet. The Bulldog in the close. This time he will be taken care of. Coley nicely played. The man in the back was pretty much the bait. And Tesseract with the close. What a nice shot with the Guardian. Cuts off his lifeline. Chops his head off. And now we're left with a 4-on-3 situation. Aster Army, that first hit didn't work out. And if you've noticed, whenever Aster Army's initial hit doesn't work out, and if they try to reroute, it's instantly being read pretty well by OG.
The win conditions clear. Oh, nice shot by Doxa. Yeah, like I said, win conditions pretty clear. Either Aster Army make it work in the first assault itself, or OG are going to win the round. If Aster Army gets stopped in that initial push, then OG know how to react. OG are inherently better at playing the mid game. No, they're the kind of team that is used to having their opponents rotate around, play these mind games, and OG are good at reading them. But when your opponent is just rushing down this particular area with brute force and firepower, then Aster Army level the playing field. Because Aster Army have plenty of firepower. What they lack is experience, something that OG bring to the table in their mid-game rotations, slightly better than Aster Army. But then again, if Aster Army don't go to the mid-game, if they finish off the round in the initial hit itself, then it's done. It's dusted.
Exactly, and what this speaks is that OG, they need a little bit more time to understand Aster Army on their attacking side. But with that being said, the first half is going to be concluded right then and there, but don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with the second half after the short break.
Here for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
The all-new i20, born magnetic.
Here for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
The second half commences, ladies and gentlemen. We will be moving inside the game soon enough, but before we move in, Crips, again, as I said, OG, they really do need a little bit of more time. At least that's what it felt like on their defending side, but now they're going to be pushed onto the attacking side and Aster Army on the defense. But I feel like Aster Army, they've already secured a lot of ground in the initial first half, so all they need to do is maybe get this pistol round in their hand, and the pace will be back in their hands.
Yeah, but OG seem to be quite swimmingly well.
Shot dark.
Presence towards mid noted, but OG pumped the brakes. And they're in no hurry to play this in a very fashion, you know. Unlike Aster Army, who are going for really fast fights, OG like taking it slow. Of course, Doctor is a bit too fast. Gets the counterpart killjoy, gets the captain out of the round. Turret's still not broken, so OG's approach is being read, and Cody is just an absolute beast, man. He's tapping away at their heads, making it look easy. Oh, Levi's flank is amazing. He could have got the other one as well, but now there's a paranoia in his face. He can't make it across.
A huge kill. And Aster Army, they seal the deal. This is not good for OG. Oh, there's a high chance we might just be moving to the third map. Aster Army, it seems like they were really confident on this Ascent pick. And OG, they're not able to find that reply. Kohli and Kishi, these two guys are absolute demons in the pistol round.
Pistol round? Bro, they're demons in every round, I guess.
Yeah, but Kishi has been performing so consistently in the pistol rounds. Like, even inside Haven, he was there with a 3K, 4K. Even inside the map of Ascent, in the first pistol round, he was able to get that. So...
Alright. Yeah, I guess I didn't notice it, but yeah, Kishi definitely is onto something over here.
Cover going out.
And now with the pistol round secure, OG have no choice but to win this round, otherwise it's basically game over. And instead of forcing, they've only gone for sheriffs, so it is somewhat of a force, but it's not as deadly as it could be. My goodness, it is super deadly for Aster Army though. The Bulldogs Inspectors is reigning supreme. He just wants to hurry it up, man. He's digging them a shallow grave. No time to dig 6 feet. He wants to go to map number 3.
You know what I feel like? Now, Aster Army should just group up towards the B. And just push together with the Spectres and all the guns. Because I think so a B hit is coming from OG. I doubt, like... Because considering... They try to hit the A site, and it didn't work out. They were going inside the B site initially. And usually the pattern is that in the buy round, teams try to wait, at least in the first buy round. They try to wait, and in the end, they just try and execute the B side. That's what the pattern looks like on Ascent. And that's what it is.
Well, slowly market control. Aster Army don't want to fight it. They don't have any sort of B presence except for Doxer, who's just waiting on the edge of a smoke, hoping that somebody from OG will overextend and he can then punish. The rest of them peacefully walking up towards the tiles, and now they're gonna clutch B from both sides. From all 3 sides rather, from the backlines, from market, as well as defend spawn.
Oh no. To be honest, I mean, one thing is clear, that OG, they're gonna start to get run down soon enough. Tesseract, what are you looking at?
He did not know.
Check their back. And yeah, the turret was there. He thought that the turret will be able to spot the flank, but the turret is being suppressed by the cloud burst. The visuals being denied of the turret, and Tesseract gets caught off guard. OG!
remaining.
Oh, they're trying their best to fight back, but Aziz doesn't have the HP supporting him, but he still clutches.
Whoa.
What? Oh, heroic stance taken from Aziz, and he clutches it out once again.
So, bottom line is, if there's one thing that we learned from this game is that Aziz is amazing at defending and anchoring. He plays the initiator, but goddamn, he's a bloody anchor. He plays so well. Even on Haven, when he got to the A side, he was able to mow down 3 of them. A quad kill on C side of Haven as well. And now in this post-plant situation, he quadruples again. What a solid anchor. You have this man playing on defense in any area, and you're gonna have an amazing time. But the moment I say that, Wink gets an unfortunate death. Tesseract doesn't even see his prey before he shoots it down in cold blood.
You need to start expecting those flanks, man. Because Jets, Cloudburst can really just block off the turret.
They used Dominic's dark cover.
Yeah, exactly. But whatever it is, right? Smoke was there. Yeah. And they need to expect that there should be some sort of visual denial utility used to get rid of the turret. And Tesseract just completely relied on that. And a classic combination this time works out in the favor of Aster Army. None of the OG members expect this.
And Cody's so annoying to deal with in that lane 1 area. The Odin just sprays them down. But somehow OG are able to bring it back. They can revive Aziz as well.
30 seconds left. Spike
The
planted.
demon's resurrected. And Aziz back on the feet. And once Aziz is alive, we know how tough is it, or how tough it is to get the side control back in her hand. And this man just kills him through the wall. It's not even gonna matter. Aziz, the spam was perfect from his side and instantly shuts down the enemy. And OG, even though things are looking quite rough for them, still Antidote's having laughs on his face. I think so OG's confident in this comeback.
Oh, it's so annoying to deal with Cooley in situations like these. But all the kills he was getting were without his enemies even being able to see him. But then, of course, once that spike gets planted and once Aziz is firmly rooted in that backside, it's almost a guarantee that OG will secure the round.
Scanning ahead.
Oh,
Well, this time they break the recon down on time. They don't want the disaster of the previous round where he can get sprayed down again.
yeah, but again, they need to start communicating this, because while they're trying to break the recon dart, 3 Vandals shot at the same time, so the position's given away no matter what.
Spike down.
And they need to start calculating this, that, okay, if the recon dart's sent, only 1 player will start shooting it, but it seems like quite a scrappy round yet again. The trades were happening back and forth, and now we're left for the one-on-one.
In a matter of seconds, the tide just turns. And Aster Army just disrespect the smokes of OG. You put down that dark cover towards market? Yeah, too bad, bro. That's not gonna work. Sorry, not the dark cover, the nebula. Doesn't gonna work. Aster Army are still gonna peek through it. And now the spike's dropped in the open in no man's land, and Doxer's holding an off angle. He goes in for the peek. Now Antidote knows where he is. And they're still challenging each other.
What?
Oh my god, bro.
That's just crazy. Doxer. That's
Wall
huge
banging.
clutch.
Spike down. B. 1 enemy remaining.
Yeah,
Not
again,
just
Crips.
that, it's everybody from Aster Army who's stepping
Yeah.
up, right?
But again, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just wanted to point this out. Once the recon dart was sent in, they need to communicate this. 3 people shot at the same time, and that's why the position was given away. So OG, you guys need to pretty much just communicate amongst yourself. If there is a recon dart and any sort of utility that's being used to try and stop you, only 1 player from you guys will shoot that. That should be coordinated. And that's where OG sort of screwed up and they lost that round, because as soon as 3 players shot that, you saw the rotation coming in quickly.
Yeah. Aster Army, they pick up clues like that and they make it work. And Aster Army are also calculative that way. They are a bit cold. They know for a fact that if OG are able to get that plant down, they will win the round for sure. So they respect the strength and they try to stop OG from planting in the first place. Also, the fact that they have an eco round on their hands means that Aster Army can take these risks. They can make those plays which on paper look like nonsense but end up working magic when you put them in reality. I mean, theoretically, if you place a flash outside of a smoke and you push through it, you're taking a big risk by doing so. And Aster Army are aware about the risk, but does it pay off? Oh, damn well it does. Gives them a thrifty.
Deploying drone.
Oh.
Nice. Nice utility by Kohli though. His dart revealed 2 people, the drone revealed the 3rd one.
Yeah. He's just jump spotting everyone on mid.
Yeah.
And OG, they know that that's happening there, and it's really tough to catch a man who's jump spotting, right? It's next to impossible because he's able to get all the info at the same time. You're not able to do anything, and he finds the kill with the Hunter Fury too. That's a cherry on top of the cake. Aster
that was
Army.
all blind.
Things starting to work out in their favor as Wink is on the site waiting for them to funnel in his crosshair, but Dominic this time will try to avoid his team with a kill, and he does. He finds 2, and now the trade game's going to be there on point from Aster, and we're left with a 1-on-3 situation. OG, they're really just crumbling apart on this map of Ascent, and everything they prepared, or I don't even know if they prepared, but everything they try to bring on the board, it's not working out.
Levi can at least pick up the spike. There's nobody marking this area, and that's on purpose. They're waiting for him to plant. There's barely any time left, you know. 11 seconds, and he now has to commit to it, and Doctor is going to rush it down. Nothing is working for him. He tries to isolate them on the back of the smoke, and he gets one, but that's all she wrote for him, ladies and gentlemen. Aster Army have pulled off the upset. We are going to map number 3.
That's some incredible stuff from Aster Army. We didn't expect Aster Army to show up in such a great fashion, but they indeed do. They're making this series so competitive. And Crips, I was saying this. I wanted to see a competitive series in front of us. And this is definitely one of those moments where we are all surprised. And OG, they lose out on this map. And Aster Army, they're having smiles all across the boards.
Yeah, the smiles on everybody's faces except for Doxa. He's a cold, calculated, poker-faced man. But after this game, the one thing is for certain. Aster Army, these guys are no joke. They are not underdogs anymore, man.
Yeah.
These guys are capable of killing giants.
And Crips, we're going to be moving on towards Icebox, one of my favorite maps inside the competitive pool. So ladies and gentlemen, before we move on towards Icebox, we are going to be pushing to a short break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hit for my wings, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the wings, I get it in.
The all-new i20, born magnetic.
Making dreams come true and memories happier.
I know my destiny. destiny. Destiny.
on the YouTube. Welcome once again to Valorant Challenger South Asia. This is going to be the third map of the series, the Decider, which is going to be played on Icebox. And just to let you guys know, this is going to be the first ever showing of Icebox inside the entire VCSA. So I'm pretty hyped, and I hope you guys are hyped too.
Let's not let that hype die, ladies and gentlemen. This is map number 3. Orangutan made a massive comeback on Haven. They were trailing 4-8, and they then won Haven 13-11, only to be decimated in Ascent. And now we go to the Decider. Can OG prove once again that they are the kings of comeback, or can Aster Army defeat the big bad bullies and prove that they are not underdogs anymore, but instead they are the champs? We kick off with a fight towards B main. Wink initiates, falls back after doing a little bit of damage, but he spots out several Aster Army members. I'm sorry, not Wink. It was Aziz who spots out several Aster Army members towards the mouth of B, just waiting towards despawn. Aster Army, it's quite uncharacteristic of them to play this slowly. You know, in Ascent, they were playing so quickly, in so aggressive of a fashion, that it was difficult for OG to even complete their setup on time. And now, all of a sudden, Aster Army have pumped the brakes, and they're trying to go for this play after the 40-second mark.
So you mentioned Kishi has caught a little damage onto himself, but Rawfuel has quite a surprising position. No one's going to expect him, and a lot of damage already being dealt. Levi's able to follow it up with a trade, but Aster, they're trying their best to claw their way back inside this round. The Sage Wall utilized too to get the plant down. And AZ's, of course, knows that there's one man in the clotheslines, but Kishi's way too low. He has proven out to be one of those clutch mans. He has proven out to be the clutch meister from Aster Army, but is he going to be able to replicate what he's been doing over and over again? Quite close, still just waiting for the players to funnel in, but this time Antidote's going to be quick on that frag. The reflex is there on the point. He's going to go for a quick tap. A little advantage on the side of Antidote that he has the half shield available too, and he seals the deal.
Scrappy retakes, but it works out for them in the end anyway. OG displayed an amazing amount of patience, and surprisingly so did Aster Army. Given the way they were playing in Ascent, I expected them to go right off the bat, just pushing in everywhere, but Aster Army actually took their sweet time, and this gave OG enough time to reposition, you know? As soon as that first contact was made by Aziz, OG were aware that there's a possibility Aster Army will come towards B later on as well, so they took up these one-and-done positions, and they just tried to hide and kill as many players as Aster Army tried to enter.
And going back to the Harbor conversation that we're having, right? You said there's a chance Harbor might be pulled out. And from what I think is that our South Asian region just isn't that advanced yet. I feel like we have always been one of those regions that takes our sweet time to adapt to new strategies and new ways of playing the game. And that's going to be the case once again over here. We don't really want to shift outside our comfort zone. We don't really want to try new things. And we're just going to be sticking to the old but gold meta, or the entire composition that we've been using since a long time. Aster Army's presence spotted towards B. All Aster Army really want to do is just get the spike plant down, and maybe a couple of bodies as well.
Blocking sight.
Oh, they're not going for the plant deep. Look at this, they're taking snowman control instead. Wow, the spikes dropped in no man's land, and OG are actually in a position to win this one. Antidote spraying everybody down. Doxer's coming in from the back lines, but what can he possibly do? The spike is so far ahead of him. Deep inside enemy lines, he will have to cross some treacherous, unknown waters in order to recover this.
30 seconds left.
And all the angles are being marked. Oh, he finds an opportunity. Aziz doesn't spot him. Now he finally does, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, though. What on earth were Aster Army attempting over here? This is not the first time we've seen a team try to go for snowman control before they plant. But the only team that I've seen attempt this has been Loud in VCT lock-in. And they were able to partially do it because they used the Harbor's high tide to lock out half these angles.
I mean, it's like, this is again an eco round, something that did just to get the kills, I guess.
Yeah.
Because we all know eco rounds, it's like something that you pretty much just play with your brains turned off and you just turn on your aim.
Deploying drone.
Okay, I wouldn't go as far as to turning it off and on. I wouldn't call it that. But yeah, that's a very ridiculous strat. And it is possible to pull it off if you have a harbor, but not without it. Poison actually lets them get across, and now Wink.
Oh no.
Good fight for him, but Tesseract trades him out. He's not keen on fighting again. He just wants to push them back and deny the plant. Even the nano swarms are preventing Kishi from peacefully planting. And now half the stage walls are broken, so he's in a difficult situation. The sneak fights from Aster Army actually hold the remaining members of OG at bay, giving him time to plant and fall back as well. So now it's a 4v3.
Yeah, against Aster Army, as their players are quite low. Another one's gonna fall down. Dominic, who was quite softened up, this time is not gonna be able to do much. And Aster Army, they're really overextending.
Yeah.
And this is why every single player is losing out those duels. Inside the map of Icebox, there's quite a lot of open space. And that's why OG, they're always able to punish that over-aggression.
Yeah, and this over-aggression is really starting to get the better of Aster
One
Army.
enemy remaining.
We saw a glimpse of it in the previous round. But then again, we can kind of discount the over-aggression in that round. You know, it's an eco, so they are okay with trying out new stuff and overextending in eco rounds. But now that they've got the better weaponry, OG is the one who had inferior guns. They were still playing a bonus, and you end up giving them so many equal opportunity frags. They will obviously not just win the round, but also steal your guns away.
No, that was the buy round,
weaponry for
Crips.
free.
Yeah, that was Aster Army's buy round, and they still pushed up.
Yeah.
And they messed up big time. They shouldn't have done that. They should have played a little safe.
My ult's ready.
And now look at this. Yeah, of course this is going to happen because OG knows they have the superior weaponry, as you mentioned.
Aster Army this time just hoping to pick up fights towards mid, but OG are comfortable giving it to them now. Oh, nice shot by Dominic. But again, it's not a problem for OG yet.
Yeah.
Poison's off.
It's just one man taken down. Alarbot's there right on the mouth too, so that means if Wink do want to fall inside the kitchen, his position will be revealed and given away. Aster Army, as I said, they're just going for the kills. And also, Vandal's been able to be inside the hands off Wink, but he will be instantly shut down. Nothing found from that. Antidote steps up. And Coley, the last man left alive with a Spectre in the hands, is able to find one. And is looking for more.
Clean, composed round for OG. They didn't even break a sweat. And now they're really starting to show how stoic they are. They're unfazed by the random aggression and the random timings that Aster Army bring to the table. And quite frankly, that's the only trump card they had, right? The only trump card Aster Army were using up until now was catching OG off guard. And now OG are like, nope, you're not going to catch us off guard like that again. You're not going to pick up fights on your terms. We hold our ground.
Oh. Wink, the shot whizzes past him. And at least for now, Aster Army, they're able to establish A main control. B main control, my bad. Moving in close to the site, dashing behind yellow. Aziz' op isn't even getting any chance to find those openings.
You should
At least they made the crossing towards the yellow region. Lockdown should force Aziz back. But my concern over here is if they don't have enough toxin fuel, then even if Aster Army, even if OG fall back, they should be able to stop the plant. Okay then. Wall doesn't get broken in time. Nano Swarm's already deployed, and there you have it. Aster Army plant the spike and fall back. But I just hope they don't overextend.
Oh, the Hunter's Fury invested. It's gonna find a couple of tags, but nothing much. No kills found from that. The Hunter Fury was used in quite a desperation move, but the recon dart's so perfect. Res being utilized too from Kishi. Will this res be successful? No, it's gonna be the answer. The players instantly dealt with. Resurrection shut down, nothing working out in their favor, and OG, they're able to get the retake back in the hands inside the map of Icebox. OG, they're looking really good on defense.
Yeah, OG seemed completely unwavering in the face of Aster Army's aggression. And this time Aster Army didn't even overextend, man. They held their ground, they played their crossfires well enough.
Yeah.
OG were the ones who just catastrophically obliterated them. Brute force and sharp aim, especially with Aziz leading the charge, he just makes it look easy.
Tactical timeout from Aster Army. I mean, there's really, as you mentioned, no overextension was there. There's really not a lot to talk about. That recon dart that was being used, it wasn't broken in time, and that just gave the entire round away, to be honest.
Yeah, even
because
then,
they got so much info.
Yeah, they got the info, but even with that info, they still need to go ahead and murder them, right? But OG just did exactly that. They showed us why they are the big bad bullies, because up until now, in the last two maps, the narrative was that Aster Army are the ones who have superior firepower. OG just proved the opposite of it, right? It was a equal round of sorts, you know, it was a 5v5. Whatever ultimates either side used had been nullified, so OG really had to do the legwork, the grunt work in order to win this round, and they had to battle Aster Army. Yes, the recon dot kind of gave away the positions and made it easy for the attackers towards yellow to be traded out, but still, they had to go ahead and murder all these people, and Tesseract and Aziz stepped up to do that duty.
Oh, aggression being showed from OG. With that slurp, they should have a little read that OG is definitely aggressing towards the aim inside, but they instantly fall back.
Yeah.
OG. Oh man, they're showing a lot of discipline this time. They know that Aster Army, they're taking the side control quite aggressively in their hands. And once they do have the side control in the post plant, they're holding their horses. So how to counter this? With a little bit of more disciplined play, and Tesseract's able to sneak all the way in the back of yellow. Hopefully he's being expected right there by Aster Army.
I hope he uses a drone or something. If they don't check for yellow, Levi takes first contact, and Tesseract goes unchecked. He can actually shoot them in the back. Antidote's arrived over here, and the spike goes down. Tesseract, you beauty! You madman! The timing on this man is perfect.
Oh boy, how did they not check behind yellow containers? A huge mistake being punished. And OG, once again, Doxer, just unaware that there's someone behind yellow. Was trying to look at the site first and maybe make his way towards yellow, but still, that one single position just ruined the entire round. And that was a buy round too for Aster.
Exactly, dude. It's funny how Aster Army used the snake bite to... I'm sorry, it wasn't Aster Army. Aster Army just casually stroll up, and up until now, every single time, before they go for the plant, they prioritize taking yellow control. Most of the time, Wink dashes across. They even use the recon dot sometimes to clear that region out. But in this round, they did nothing. They didn't even use any SOA utility from Cody to figure out yellow, and they end up paying such a heavy price for it.
Operators on the deck for AZs, and this man's going to be a little pain for them. One blade was connected onto AZ, he instantly falls back. He knows that there is a little bit of threat. His position's given away. He needs to reposition. And that's what he exactly does. Rawfield's got the resurrection available too, but he's utilized his walls, so going for this resurrect is going to be quite tough.
Meanwhile, Levi is already pushed up towards the edge of B, and he doesn't see anyone. So OG are fully aware that Aster Army is heading towards the A site. In case Coley does go back B and kills Levi, it will still act like an early warning system, and OG will have plenty of time to rotate.
Poison orb emitting.
Oh man! Initial peek, nothing found. Peeks the second time, gets his head cut off.
Revealing area.
And now we're left for the 4-4. The equal trades on the site. Operator being shifted on over towards B. This is a little wrong lead. A little wrong read coming out from their side. And the site controls back in their hands. Aster Army, well played. Just playing with the mines, fiddling with it. And now they've got the A side control back in their hands. This is what I call a proper execution. Do something fancy. Play with your opponent's heads.
Player standing.
My goodness, Kishi and Dox are stepping up. Huge frag from Aziz. He knows where Doxer is. Coley remains an unknown entity, but he can hear the footsteps of them both, so now it should be a good enough gamble for him to check the other side. Doesn't need to clear backside, and now he presses onwards. It's gonna be a matter of timing between looking upstairs and looking towards your left-hand side. Doesn't know where they are. He peeks out. Cloudburst to help him out, but Doxer is just a bit faster, and Aster Army put themselves on the board. OG actually had the read throughout this entire situation, you know. First it was Levi pushing up aggressively towards B, acting like an early warning system, and as soon as Levi died, Tesseract used a recon dart towards the B site, which did not get broken and it did not detect anyone. So OG kind of knew for a fact that Aster Army are indeed coming towards the A site, and they were even in position to stop this attack from happening. But Kishi's just a madman, you know. He sprays down 2 people, opening up the opportunities, and OG are left to do nothing but sit and watch this site being taken away from them.
A tactical timeout from OG because they know they got clearly outmaneuvered.
And even when they saw the moves coming, they could not stop them. Finally, the firepower of Aster Army giving them something to work with.
Oh boy. Timeout from OG. Let's see what sort of a counter they're going to come up with, because that was quite an interesting strat. Now, of course, if Aster Army try to replicate that, OG might just be able to read into it. So Aster Army, they've used their key card. Now it's time to switch things up once again. They have been putting a lot of pressure onto B. It wasn't really working out so far. As soon as they switch on over towards A and send a man lurking onto B, they were able to fake it completely.
Oh man, Aziz. What a nasty way to start the round. Doxer wasn't even prepared for that fight.
You will not kill my allies.
A res comes through.
Here.
Poison Cloud blocking his way this time. But hey, that's a good start. At least the crucial ultimate is baited out by Aster Army.
They've also got the alarm bot in the mid, so mid lurk is going to be next to impossible to pull off, and that's a nice scan being done from the recon dart. Gives away the position. Instantly, shock darts were utilized to cut raw fuel off, and that's what's exactly gonna happen. Viper's Pit to give them a little bit more advantage inside the side take, and it exactly does. Tesseract cuts off the overextending man's head. Wink not inside the game anymore, and now we're left with a 3-on-3 situation. The equalizers were played so perfectly from them. Dominic is able to at least try and trade things out in this team's favor, but once again, he's stepping up huge.
On earth just happened over here, dude?
So
This rack left
scrappy.
to his own exactly. It's scrappy is an understatement, dude. I think I'm gonna have to
30
look up my
seconds
thesaurus to figure out a way to describe this round. You have the Viper Spit committed by Dominic. He deliberately drops it, retrieves the spike. Levi deploys a Viper Spit off his own, and even that doesn't help. Tesseract finally falls. Aster Army with the second on board.
I like the move from Antidote, if I'm not wrong. He pushed inside the Viper's Pit instantly. Yeah, killed the planner, at least delay it for a while, but still it didn't work out because his team wasn't able to back it up. And then Dominic just takes those duels and somehow he wins those. Once again, these duels are really just making me scratch my head. It's quite an interesting way to come out on top.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, these duels are really working out for Aster Army, right? They're able to at least come out on top in those duels, but I'm really worried for their future endeavors, their future matchups. If they keep on replicating the similar strategy they're replicating over here, if an enemy team is able to read into that perfectly, Aster Army, they will be up for a treat.
Yeah.
Right here.
I mean, if somehow Aster Army do make it to the playoffs, stuff like this is never going to work against a team like Velocity. Velocity thrive in chaotic situations like these. OG surprisingly not able to deal with the chaos, even though at one point they were the team known to thrive in situations like these. Back when they were called Enigma, they were supreme. This time even the Viper Wall deployed by Dominic is slightly different. Cover the top rather than this angle that Levi was holding, and I guess that's on design. Levi does get his head blown off. And even after that, there's still presence from Aster Army towards the A side, so OG don't really know where the spike is.
No. I'm not a huge fan of this. Kishi, why do you need to push up? Oh, you could have just tried to play that patiently. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this aggression that he's showing because Wink has no other choice than to cut off the lockdown to get the spike plant done, and he does exactly that. And instantly, Aster Army invest their lockdown to at least delay a bit more for OG. And now it's a 2-on-4. Wink, perfectly done. He used that kill as a bait and pushed up himself because OG did not expect two men committing like that. Because it's not a good move, to be honest.
Yeah, who would have thought that you push up areas like that? Kishi and Wink just catching everybody off guard. And this is classic Aster Army aggression. I mean, look, that aggression doesn't even stop after the round is more or less confirmed to be theirs. Aster continue to hunt for the exit frags, continue to hunt down OG members because they don't want them to save.
And they're still going to manage to save.
They still managed to save, but that's a different story. This is the kind of aggression that we saw from Loud in VCT lock-in, but they were using all the Harbor's utility to do so.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Wink and Kishi just ignore all of that. They have no personal regard for their safety.
A fine death.
And they just continue pushing into enemy territory. They have information on probably only Antidote's position and nobody else. They don't know if anyone could be supporting Antidote, but they're still willing to take that risk.
I mean, I guess it sort of looks like the VCT lock-in aggression, but as I said, with the utilities, at least they were guaranteed with the picks, right?
Yeah.
Over here, they're taking gamble with those duels.
Yeah, it's a gamble, yeah. 100%.
So again, you can't compare.
Man, forget comparing.
The alarm bot. The alarm bot was there in the mid, so at least it's going to give away the presence. Hunter's Fury was utilized too, just to check if there's someone available on the rafters. There was, but he was able to dodge it successfully.
But this is the 4th or 5th time maybe in this entire series Kohli has been able to get kills with his Hunter's Fury without using any of his other utility, you know. Most of the times when somebody gets revealed by a recon dart or by an owl drone, that's when the Sova pulls out his bow and starts lasering them down. But Kohli's able to do this blind and still always connects. How he does it, I do not know, buddy. One will have to write up a masterclass to figure out how to use the Hunter's Fury like him. And he's proficient with the Vandal too. He gets another kill. Aziz finally picks off one, but Tesseract is ready to guard the flank.
If he had the Vandal out in his hands instead of the knife, that could have been a kill right there on the Tesseract easily. Because Tesseract was just so unaware of that push coming in, and just because the Vandal wasn't pulled out in time in his hands, that gave Tesseract a huge advantage. And now even OG, they're left with a huge advantage back in their hands. Sticking the plan, and Levi will cut off his lifeline. OG playing that pretty well. And to be honest, with the way Aster Army is playing, it's really catching OG off guard.
That has to be their whole playstyle, dude. Aster Army's entire identity, not just against OG, but
the shots
in this tournament revolves around being unpredictable, around being this relentless, sometimes borderline reckless team that just pushes in and picks up these fights. Most of the time it ends up working for them, but it seems like OG have finally found the antidote. Pun intended.
Deploying drone.
Owl drone out to get some scans done and also some visual information if possible. Operators on the A side, so at least so far, Aziz has got the read right. Wiper's wall is there too. And it's been taken down, so they're communicating that pretty well. Operator's gonna miss its first showing, and instantly Tesseract's there to cut off his lifeline. At least the trade game is there. First man misses, the second man connects, and Tesseract goes huge and shuts down the entire enemy team. He just pretty much takes him down so easily. 3 kills racked up like it's nothing, connecting those heads back to back.
Tesseract will kill you for a fact, and he will act as if he doesn't even know you. Battle spotted, Levi gets the frag. That's a wiper diff right there. And Doxer, I don't know how many times he's been in these clutch situations. Near impossible clutch situations, should I add, because in these 1v4s, there's barely any opportunities given to him.
30 seconds
Nobody
left.
from OG revealing themselves, so it's not even like he can get a free frag and just fall back or something. Levi finally will probably offer him a 1v1, and Doxer wins the duel. Opportunity to plant, but instead he's going for the fake. He isolates the duel against Antidote too. And he just continues to fight.
Oh, Tesseract goes huge. All by himself, he's able to just pretty much mow him down. He stops the entire push. And as soon as the first operator shot was missed, the communication was done so well from OG. The calls were given away that they're pushing up. He did say that one man's near the pipes. Tesseract peeks out, gets rid of that man, instantly peeks out once again. Kills both those players that were right underneath him. Well done from them. But Aster Army, still, like, I'm gonna give props to them with the way these guys are bringing up the gameplay. It's just bringing so many surprise elements. We keep on talking about those surprise elements, and Aster Army, they're surprising us every time with those surprise elements. But this time, AZ's operator was surprised Doxer.
Puts a hole in his cranium. And this forces Aster Army to reconsider their steps. Now that the op's been spotted towards the A site, they will probably try to take their chances on B. Contact play by Wink. Oh my god, it still ends up working? It's serious, but Tesseract's present. He intercepts them. Spike detected. Antidote to spray down Dominic, who was extending to a snowman once again. I don't understand. Why does Aster Army continue to push snowman again and again? It's historically not been awesome for them whenever they try something like this. And now Poli's coming in with the spike. There's no way he has any backup. Yeah, this is just very questionable for Aster Army. Why they continue to push snowman, I do not know. They don't have the right composition for it. I guess they probably want to surprise OG, but there's better ways of doing so.
Poison's gone.
They've already done it quite a lot of times, so the surprise element's kind of vanished away. So you cannot really expect to surprise anyone. And right here, he was spotted as well. They also heard the footsteps going towards Snowman. So as you mentioned, of course, a questionable move. But ladies and gentlemen, that was the first half of the previous map. And Icebox so far is looking quite interesting. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with the second half after a short break.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the beach, I get it in.
The all-new i20, born magnetic.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the beach, I get it in.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Valorant Challenger South Asia. We are going to be heading inside the second half soon enough, but the first half was quite interesting. Of course, OG, they do have a dominating lead, but that doesn't mean Aster Army will lose, because Aster Army so far, with the way they've been playing, they've showed one thing, and that is that their trade game and firepower is really good.
Their trade game firepower really good, but they could probably be better with which part of the map do you want to pick up these fights towards. Dominic by himself. There's no way he can defend this area all alone, so he needs backup, but he's still keen on peeking. Poison Cloud will let him get a slight advantage. It will hold OG at bay for the time being, buys enough time for even Doxer to roll around. But now that all the positions are aware and accounted for, OG can go to the plant safely.
Easy plant for OG, and a pistol round. It's quite tough to get rid of the Sage Wall, so tough to stop that plant. And look at the contact play coming out from OG. The turn AZ's was just top of this yellow box. Was able to find one, instantly falls back too, but unfortunately the fall back isn't going to be done successfully. And Raw Fuel in quite a surprising angle with the Classic is punishing every single player. And Aster Army, they fall down.
Yeah, Aster Army really went in a bit too soon. That team wasn't even completely prepared to push in while the frontliners started to get inside. Raw Fuel, they wouldn't have expected him to still continue holding right outside that barrier orb. Just behind it, they would have expected that everyone falls back towards yellow and maybe towards the greens region. But nah, Aster Army, they got obliterated before they even had a chance to get inside. Tesseract on fire though, look at his kills.
Yeah.
These are some insane numbers.
He's on fire and just keep on adding the fuel. That's what OG's doing. Yeah, as long as it works out, that's all you need, right?
Stand down.
First man spotted. OG, they were just waiting for this aggression. Nicely read. And then the entire Aster army, now they're just starting to fall down. Of course, it's an eco round, so it's completely okay. But Aster army, they don't really have a lot of rounds to spare.
Enemy down.
You know, at least he can recover that one weapon, but like, what's the point? With that weapon, they can purchase
It's Spectre.
proper guns, Phantoms and Vandals in the next round. So just do as much economic damage as possible, I guess. He's being chased. He's being hounded.
The angle's being checked, and Antidote will shut him down. Probably the one thing that gave his position away is that they saw the Spectre still there, but they heard the drop sound, so that means he has to be somewhere close. Because he didn't pick up the Spectre, that means he didn't go mid.
I mean, even if they figure out where he is and they kill him, it doesn't really matter, right? Aster army were destined to lose that round the moment that early aggression did not pan out for them. OG, I'm just happy to keep their guns alive. They don't lose any of them in the process. So the one person who dies, he does upgrade his gun. Tesseract picks up a Vandal. Everyone else still holding on to the bonus weapons from the previous round.
$11-3 is the scoreline, and as I said, Aster army, they don't really have a lot of rounds to spare. They've got the good weaponry in their hands. Vandal, Phantoms, and Bulldogs on the play, but they need to start getting this round back in their hand. That's all they really need to do. The flank's being watched too. Tesseract's way too low. He got a bit too much hurt onto himself. He's taken down 15 HP, and Wink is still going to keep on continuing the aggression. He doesn't know that there's someone waiting for him, but the second man is there too. He's taken down to 45 HP. Aster army, they're heavily relying on this flank. And Wink has managed to get a lot of control, but this time he will be shut down. Dominic's there to trade things out, but unfortunately the man advantage isn't there for Aster army to keep on taking gambles like these. But OG, they're just gonna line him up.
Line him up, knock him down. This seemed like a very uncoordinated push from Aster army. Yeah, at this point it seems like Aster army have had a complete breakdown in communication. And OG are just able to reign supreme by staying calm, staying composed. They're close, man. Very close to finishing this game off. They've been through a lot today. OG started off this tournament, the Valorant Challenger South Asia, as probably the contenders. They were the ones who were supposed to be the kings. And after their first match against Lethal, they solidified that statement even further. Aster army questioned their supremacy. They pointed fingers at their reign and made them look that they can take damage. OG no longer look like the invincible gods that they once were. But gods also have power, and they will use it to smite down Aster army to the Netherrealms. Doxer, the star player of the team, now evaporated. Kishi with the Guardian trapped in a very awkward angle. There is backup available. Dominic and Kohli have made their way to the scene. So cavalry has arrived. But OG still have superior weaponry. Up against a bunch of Guardians. Can these Vandals reign supreme and finish the game here, or will we have an extension thrown towards Aster? Levi and Roth will make it look impossible. Back to a 2v2. Kohli adamant on holding his ground, and Tesseract will pound them.
Oh boy, the last round secured from OG. Guardians hit hard, but the fire rate isn't there. And that's where OG, they take the round home. They take down Aster army on the map of Icebox by 13-3. That's a huge round difference. And Antidote, as you can see, just moving him forward, spreading cheers all across towards his teammates, saying good job. But once again, as you mentioned today, we found out that the gods do bleed.
Yep. The gods do bleed. Their armor has chinks in it, and they can be exploited. Antidote's face, usually the most expressive one in the team. His emotions reveal whatever he's feeling, his expressions tell that he has seen a little bit of horror today. And as they walk over to their opponents to congratulate them, there is a certain amount of respect given and exchanged between these players. Aster Army proved that even the best of the best teams can be tamed, can face a little bit of defeat. There was a little bit of struggle, it was labored. Wasn't the smoothest game for Orangutan, but they come through regardless. Aster Army, on the other hand, have found newfound respect from everybody in the community. The fact that they can make Orangutan sweat itself is a big deal. Push that on top of it, where you have a map being taken off, that is super impressive.
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot to talk about, but we will touch up on that after this short break.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Hit most of wins, I get it in.
The all-new i20, born magnetic.
Making dreams come true and memories happier.
On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up, way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon' way up, now we going. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon' way up, now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this is 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up, way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and say sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Pray up, way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon' way up, now we going. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon' way up, now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up, way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon' way up, now we going. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon' way up, now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this is 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and say sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this is 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and say sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this is 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and say sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, just the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and say sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up.